Boston. Share the experience of the WWE Live Holiday Tour so you can hashtag Best Night of My Life with nonstop action and the moments that will leave you breathless. Plus all your favorite superstars, no filter. It's the WWE Live Holiday Tour on Thursday, December 29th. Tickets and VIP packages are available Friday, November 4th at 10 a.m.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Football fans, welcome to Week 11 of NFL Moving the Line here from MWF Studios, downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champion 02176. Here are your hosts, Lou Saban and John Morgan.
Lou Saban, John Morgan. Johnny, say hi.
Hey, we're not going to have a fun week this week with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's true. God, Week 11, John. This season's moving quick, huh?
Really quick.
Very, very quickly, but we're having fun over here. Maybe we didn't have so much fun this weekend. That was a tough game.
This isn't going to be a love fest.
Yeah, but we'll get to the Patriots in a second. We don't have any stupid bullshit to open the podcast with. No politics, no baseball. That's a good thing, right?
This is going to be straight football.
Yeah. Dan, do you like that? No bullshit?
I can do with a little.
A little bit?
As long as it isn't too in-depth.
I think you spoke too soon because, Dan's going to have some sort of bullshit.
I can always be creative if push comes to shove, but I know there's a lot of football news that's
Look
who we have. We have three of us. You don't think we're going to get to some sort of bullshit before this is over?
It's a good point. So I've had one of my good buddies, Jarrett, who John has met. He's in Vegas right now, and he has made a bid to be the statistical research department of our podcast, which I think is great. I think is really, really cool. And one topic that I've been hearing a lot about by a lot of different podcasts, TV shows, everybody seems to think that kicking is terrible this year. People are missing a lot of field goals, and everybody seems to think, what is your general idea of the kicking situation this year, Johnny?
I don't know why it's happening, but it does seem like it's worse this year. The whole kicking thing on special teams, though, has bothered me for years. It's not just about field goal kicking. It's about how you're starting the game off, where you're kicking the ball from. That always bothers me. It's taking an aspect of special teams out of the game. But just as far as the kicking goes, I have no idea why it's so bad. But it's been horrible, whether it be missing field goals or it's not just extra points. It's everything. It seems to me, I don't know what the stats are, but it seems really bad this year.
Yeah, the naked eye, I don't have any statistics with me here, nor do I ever. But, I mean, now that you mention it, it has been really rough this year.
So this is kind of interesting because Jared actually compiled the stats on it, which is really kind of impressive. So just overall percentage of field goals made this year in 2016, let's see, is 83.8%. So I don't know. That number probably means nothing to you, right? So last year...
That's what I was going to say. What's the average?
Last year, 84.5%. Year before, 84%. Year before, 86.5%. Year before that, 83.9%. Year before that, which is 2011, 82.9%. So statistically, the numbers are pretty similar.
Yeah, I think you're talking about field goals, but it seems like extra points too. Everything, and it seems like there's a lot.
You move it back.
You move it back, but they moved it back last year too. But it seems like it's been worse.
So the difference, 2014, extra points were made at a 99.3% rate, and then they moved it back. 2015, 94.2, and then 94.7. The really interesting part of this, though, is that field goals from 20 to 29 yards in 2016 is 95.3%, which is down over 2 full percentage points. So the close field goals are actually being kicked at a lower rate. And they're actually, so that's kind of the interesting point.
You know what I've seen, and maybe, I don't know the stats on it, but one thing I've noticed, I feel like more kicks are getting blocked and deflected, and the pressure on it, whether even they get a piece or not, they're jumping over the line more.
Yeah.
And they're getting a better jump on things. So it might have to do with special teams, just the defense on it, not just the kicker.
Yeah. So the only real difference, which is kind of crazy, because you would think that the shorter field goals, they'd make them all the time, especially now they get more practice on them with the extra points. The 20 to 29-yard field goals are 95. They're way down. Well, not way down, but they're down.
Yeah.
But other than that, and I'll agree with you, the public perception does seem to say that field goal kickers suck this year. But there's really no statistical difference.
I think you've
it's goddamn liberal media bias, John.
I don't think it has so much to do. It may be down a little bit, but the way they're missing them is how they're affecting the game is what I mean. I mean, I think it's highlighted more because it's had a bigger impact in a lot of football games that we've seen this year. It's not just a miss that didn't account for anything. It's been a big miss. So if it matters more, we're going to think of it and remember it more, as opposed to ones that just don't count.
Now, the topic, John, I heard this on the Mike Lombardi podcast. I thought this was really interesting. So, team, you score a touchdown, you kick the extra point, right? Did you know that the rate at which NFL football teams get the 2-point conversion is right around 60%? So there's an argument that could be made that you shouldn't go for two.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, you shouldn't kick the extra point ever again.
Right,
you should go for two every time.
Well, Tomlin will agree with you on that.
Right. We went for it 4 times, I think, this week, right?
It was bad, and he
didn't get every single one.
Successful at all.
Right. So do you think that it's such a surprise when a team goes for 2? That's why it's around 60%.
No, I don't think it's a surprise that the team goes for 2. I mean, I think it's a smart play. I think you should always go for 2. But I'm also in a weird thing where I like those coaches, those high school coaches that always go for it on 4th down too.
Who never punt. Yeah.
It's a different way of thinking, and I like that way of thinking.
All right, so you're on board. I think statistically, how do you argue with that?
I would
right?
love to see a coach, and I don't know if we'll ever see it in the NFL, that coaches that way.
Yeah.
That just won't punt. I'd love to see it.
That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, I think that would drive gamblers insane, though.
I think this already has this year. Like, it drives me nuts. Like, moving it back and the whole going for 2 thing. The last 2 years, it's really affected the lines and how you vote, like how you're thinking. It's not just about those 3 points anymore. The 1 and 2 point games are, I think, happening way more often.
Yeah, you used to not see that very much.
No.
The games were decided by 3 or 7.
Yeah.
But anyways, we want to thank Jarrett Ferreira. That was pretty. We actually sound smart right
Jared.
now with actually like statistics and stuff.
That was good.
But all right, you ready to look stupid, John?
I'm ready. I'm always ready to look stupid, though.
So we both pretty publicly endorsed Green Bay last week.
I don't know.
They got massacred.
What's going on with
They were
this
down like
football
a
team?
9 million to nothing to begin that game.
Yeah, that was bad. And it's the Titans here. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the Titans.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers, he scored a decent amount of fantasy points. He wasn't amazing. But the rest of that team is garbage, John.
I have no idea what it is. I don't know. Is it the defense? Is it the defensive coach? What is it? I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dom Capers. I've said it before. I love his blitz packages. He does innovative things, but it's eventually you're gonna have to start blaming somebody for this. And who is it? Is it a lack of defensive players, or is it a bad coach? Is it a combination of both? I don't know.
Do you know that they have 9 undrafted free agents on their roster? What do you think of that?
I think a lot of teams have a lot of undrafted players in their roster nowadays.
Okay.
I don't.
Sounds like a lot, though, doesn't it?
Where in their? I don't know if it sounds like a lot. Where is it? Is it on defense? Is it on offense?
I don't know. My research department isn't here. I didn't. But I heard that anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's to blame for this.
Johnny, are they dead?
Are they going to come back? That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, are they dead, John?
We got to look at the schedule. I mean, they look right now like Minnesota looks. They're looking like they're just on a downward spiral.
Yeah, Minnesota, we'll talk about them in a second, but Minnesota is in a total free fall. That whole division seems to be having a whole lot of problems right now.
I can't call the Packers dead yet. I mean,
okay.
Obviously, mathematically, they're still in it.
3 losses in a row. It's tough.
I mean, mathematically, they're still in it, though. And with a team that has Aaron Rodgers, those offensive weapons, I still think Dom Capers is a good defensive coordinator. I'm not going to count them out until they're mathematically out.
Johnny, they're brutal on the road. They're 1-3.
They got another road game this week. They're playing the Redskins.
They're pretty decent at home. They're not like amazing at home.
But they haven't been great at home. I mean, they're a far better team at home, but they haven't been great. They're still playing these close games. They lost to the Colts.
All right, John, we're at Redskins, at the Eagles. The Eagles are a tough team at home. Eagles are good at home.
Yeah.
They're home
Eagles
for
are much better at home.
Home for Texans. You got to chalk that up as a win. Texans look horrible. Home for Seahawks. Seahawks look like they would beat the shit out of the Packers right now. They're at Chicago for the Bears. The Bears are horrible. They're home for the Vikings. Who wins that game right now?
Yeah, that's what, 5 weeks down the road?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of football between these next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't even think about that yet. I think you got to do it, like Belichick says, one game at a time and see what happens. And then if they start up, if they have a good showing against the Redskins, they could turn everything around.
Right. And then they're at the Lions to finish the season. There's some tough games in there.
Lions is another tough game.
Yeah.
You can't just count the Lions.
Yeah, and speaking of the Vikings, did I officially kill the Vikings?
Something
Man.
we talked about them enough.
One of my better calls of the year, I called for them to regress, but I didn't call them to go in absolute free fall.
Yeah, I think we both knew that Sam Bradford was going to regress. We know that those stats weren't going to keep up. It wasn't going to happen. But what the fuck?
Yeah.
What has happened to this team?
My friend Phil killed Sam Bradford, and I killed the Vikings.
Somebody was saying to me is that their weaknesses got exposed 1 week, and now everybody's jumping on it.
The running game is atrocious.
They have no running game. They have no offensive line.
Did you pick up Asiata in fantasy, John?
For about a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
2 weeks. I had him 2
You had
weeks.
to wash the stink
He's
of Matt
officially
Asiata.
gone off my team.
Well, you got James Starks, I think, today.
I picked up Starks, yeah.
Starks, yeah. And then they got Kristen Michaels, so who knows what's going to happen
I don't know.
there. James Starks has been pretty decent, but
James Starks had a decent week this past week, but other than that, it hasn't been anything crazy.
So, John, I really want to get I wanted so bad to get my travel gear ready and get my stick and bindle. I really want to jump on the Panthers bandwagon right now, but they just were 1-1 the last 2 weeks. They edged out the Saints, but they lost. They really needed that Chiefs game.
That game was so frustrating last night. That game, the first half of that football game, they looked really good.
Yeah.
Really good football team. And then in the second half, halfway through the third quarter, they decided to stop playing football.
Yeah.
They just ran the ball 3 times, and they just tried to kill the clock. And they just gave up playing the game. It was all just about conserving their lead. And they almost blew it. I kind of wish they did blow it because you can't just stop playing football for that long.
Right. Yeah, at least then we wouldn't have to worry about them anymore. But now they're still kind of right on the fringe there.
No.
Wait, they're not on the fringe.
They're not going to get in. No, they're on the fringe, but I don't think they're going to get in. No.
They're 4-6, John.
No.
All right,
No.
John is on. He hates the Panthers. Now, why do you say that?
I just don't think they have. They started off too bad. Even if they turn it around, what do they have now? Luke Kuechly is out, concussion protocol. Who knows how long that's going? Hopefully, it doesn't last too long.
He looked bad. He got hurt bad.
He looked like he was. I didn't think it was concussion when it first happened, though.
Yeah.
Because he looked like he was crying. He was trying to hold back tears.
He was crying.
Yeah, he was trying to hold back tears. He looked. Nobody thought it was a concussion. Even Newton thought it was his foot. Somebody thought it was his chest. It didn't seem like a concussion. But obviously, that's what they're saying right now. And he is the superstar, hands down, of that defense.
Absolutely.
He's unbelievable.
So
if I could pick one defensive player to start a football team, that's who it would be.
Well, there you go. I really wanted to jump on the bandwagon. If they had Luke Kuechly still, I would be on, but this is a tough
Why do you want
schedule.
to jump on their bandwagon?
Because they have talent, man.
Fuck them. No.
Wow. Oh, my
Newton.
God.
No. Cam Newton is a choker. No.
Oh, my God. John, he's angry. He's standing up right now.
How do you go from a team that did that well last year and you come back this year and do this with all these expectations? No.
John is disgusted right now.
The guy has so much talent. I don't understand why he can't play better or why he's not doing this. I don't know. I'm frustrated with him. I really am.
I haven't seen John this upset since he saw the last hooker menu in Vegas. He looked at it. He was just with disdain. Hated it.
Why do you want to jump on their bandwagon now?
Well, I don't know. They got talent.
Do you like Carolina? Do you like Cam Newton as a quarterback? What do you like about their team?
I like their regular season talent. They showed it last year.
Season talent.
I think maybe they choke in the
What
playoffs.
the fuck does that mean? Their regular season talent.
Well, they have a lot of front runners on that team who do really well in the regular season.
Okay.
As you saw last year.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying do I like them to win the Super Bowl? No, but I'd like them to go on a run and possibly make the playoffs.
I mean, I like Davis. I like Kuechly. That's about where I stand on that. football
But
team.
after the Kuechly injury,
and Greg Olsen, obviously.
Greg Olsen, ageless Greg Olsen. But after the Kuechly injury, you're probably right. It's tough for me because they got Raiders, Seahawks, Chargers, Skins, Falcons, Bucks. That's some tough games.
They're gonna flip flop. They're gonna win. They're gonna lose. They're gonna win. They're gonna lose. They're not gonna tie anything together. I don't think.
All right. Well, I really wanted to. I was gonna write.
They gave not to cut you off. They gave up last night. They just stopped playing.
They
And
won though.
It's halfway through the third, and they just stopped playing football. They stopped playing.
Yeah, so I was ready to say I want to hop on that bandwagon. I'm going shopping for bandwagons to look at. But then I was like, well, they lost Luke Kuechly, and then I tried to spell Kuechly, and I couldn't spell it, so I just gave up on the whole bandwagon thing. But speaking of discussing, did you see that Jets-Rams atrocity?
Yeah, what was the final? 9-6?
9-6. Home games in L.A. are horrible.
In case Keenum wonders why he's not playing. Why is he so shocked by this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just a brutal, disgusting game. Do you have anything to say about this game, or do you want to move on?
No, I have one thing to say about it. Your pick, Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Obviously, we kind of came up with a system on this, but we'll save that for the next segment when it comes up.
Got it.
It was just an ugly game.
It's disgusting, ugly game. And, well, there you go. Phillip Rivers threw 4 picks in the fourth quarter, which is unbelievable. And, John, we need a name for this. I'm going to run a couple ideas past you here. We need a name for this occurrence because in NHL, score 3 goals. What's that? The hat trick, right?
Hat trick, yep.
You score them all in one quarter, that's a natural hat trick, right? I'm like, what can we call this? I came up with something. I'm going to run this by
Call it the Ryan Fitzpatrick.
But if you do it all in one quarter, I want to call it a natural Fitzpatrick.
A natural Fitzpatrick.
What do you think of that?
All right. Now, you really don't like Fitzpatrick, do you?
No, I love Fitzpatrick.
No, you love shitting on Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's true. That part's
There's a
true.
difference.
I love him. That's why I came up with the Ryan Fitzpatrick challenge, because I love shitty quarterback play. It's my favorite.
I don't know who you like to dislike more, Fitzpatrick or Geno Smith.
Well, it's Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Geno Smith. Well, hold on. If we throw Mark Sanchez in there versus Geno
there
Smith,
you
we
go.
have a real competition.
That's it right
My
there.
love for Mark Sanchez is boundless.
I'm with you there.
I loved watching him play. I remember last year
I
there was
loved watching him play bad.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was my favorite. It gave me so much
leaving
joy.
out all this stuff. You say, I love watching him play. No, you like watching him play bad.
I love watching him fail.
Yes.
There we go. So John, are you on board with 4 picks in 1 quarter as a natural Fitzpatrick?
I like it.
All right, so there we go. The game of the week, there's 2 games of the week. Pats and Seahawks was game of the week, but the other game of the week was Steelers-Cowboys, right, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Well, it was. It was officially the NFL's game of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, so unfortunately, I didn't get to see a lot of it, so I want you to fill me on it. Give me your perspective on it.
I was shocked how I did like the over in that game, like I said, over 40 on the tees. I liked it. I couldn't believe how many points were scored in that game. The defense was Ezekiel Elliott's run in the fourth quarter from 32 yards out was great.
Johnny, is he the MVP right now?
This guy he's got to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be between him and Dak Prescott are both carrying the Cowboys, but he's hands down the best player on the football team.
Yeah. So him, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, who's your MVP right now?
Right now, it's Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah. I don't know how you not.
There's a big movement right now. People are obviously, it would never, ever, ever happen. But there's a big movement for Dallas Cowboys offensive line as the MVP of the league.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen.
It would never happen,
No,
but
it can't happen.
I gotta say they are.
We've talked about this for a few years now. They have the best offensive line in football.
Yeah.
We talked about Elliott or Johnson. Who do you want? It's hard to compare the two because he gets to run behind that line.
Yep.
In a vacuum, I still like Johnson, but they're both amazing running backs.
They're reminiscent to that mid-'90s Cowboys offensive line. Remember how good
Yep.
they were with like Nate Newton and
Yeah.
Nate Newton got busted for like 400 pounds of weed or something. Remember that?
I totally forgot about that.
He was driving a van somewhere, he got busted, and then he got busted again.
He needed more money.
So no, I remember it was like 250 pounds, and then he got busted for that, and then he got busted again like 3 months later with like another 150 pounds. It's just beautiful. He would be wearing the belt.
It was in his wallet too.
Yeah, it was in his wallet. Well, that's it. What else you got? Steelers boys? Anything else about that?
Do you think the Steelers are still in it? Because I still have the Steelers as a top 4 football team. I do. I mean, their record doesn't say it, but I still have them as a top 4. I still have the Patriots, the Steelers, the Cowboys, and the Seahawks. That's what I have. And obviously, you can't go by record saying that, but the way I look at the top teams is who I don't want to see in the playoffs, who I don't want to play.
Yep.
And the Steelers are still that team to me. That's a team I don't want to see in the playoffs. I do not want to play against them.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all we got for news, John. Do you want to move on to Patriots? You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Talk about the Patriots.
So Patriots, I watched the Patriots game at my friend Les's house. And Les Castinas, hi Les. He says I never mentioned him on the podcast, but here you are. We love you. I watched it with him and my buddy Jarrett, and he was very emotional, John.
Were we all?
Yeah. He was that's actually something I want to discuss with you. He was in a glass case of emotion. He had several adult beverages, and he was all over the place. John, I want you for once in your fucking life to use your powers for good instead of evil. I want you to cheer Les up. Cheer him up.
I don't really want to cheer Les up. I don't know
What?
Les, but no, honestly, this game was really stressful. I mean, the game was disappointing to watch. Our defense, whether it be zone, they couldn't do shit. They're lucky they weren't down by more in the beginning. They got away with 2 field goals instead of 2 touchdowns. The typical Patriots bend, don't break defense.
Yeah.
But they couldn't stop anything.
Yeah.
They made Russell Wilson look like Brady, and he definitely looked healthy.
They made their offensive line, which is possibly the worst offensive line in football, look amazing.
Yeah. The defensive line struggling. It's I don't know. I can't.
So you're not going to cheer him up?
I don't know how to. I don't know. The only thing I can say.
Do I have to do it?
The only thing I can say to cheer him up is to say that it's one game, but it's against probably the best team we're going to face. So you got to win those games. You have to win those games going into the playoffs.
Well, Here's how I'm going to cheer.
They're supposed to be undefeated every year.
I know. This is what I want to talk about.
March through Boston with the millennials that are still whining about Trump.
I'm not
and protest that they lost the game.
I'm nowhere
They're
concerned.
not entitled to be undefeated
Right.
every year.
I
That's
totally
what
agree
gets
with
me
that.
Going.
Who's talking about undefeated?
Just these people that panic
Who's
and
talking
think
about
life
undefeated?
ends because the Patriots
It's not-
lost the game that Tom Brady played.
I don't care.
Have they ever watched a football game?
I'm not sure you've watched a football
I've
game.
watched plenty of football games. Over there.
Like I don't
See
think
what
it's.
you watch.
I don't. I don't think it's the point about the loss. It's the way they lost. The way they lost the football game. Our defense didn't look good at all.
Are they supposed to be perfect? 16 games a year,
Why
in,
are
and
you
year
taking
out?
Why are you taking everything to the drastic? Like perfect, undefeated.
Because that's what
it's
these
not,
losers
no,
harp
It's
on.
not perfect. It's playing a really shitty football game.
Well, they almost won. It couldn't have been that bad.
Their defense played a shitty football game.
I think Dan's got a great point here because this is kind of an overarching thing I wanted to say. I watch a regular season football game. Les was going crazy. I was kind of calm because as a Boston fan and as a Patriots fan, I feel like I'm super, super spoiled. And I'm trying to think of a circumstance that would happen in a regular season game that would cause me to have that emotional of an outburst. Because the regular season for me, I'm just like, it's all precursor. This is the preseason.
Okay.
Because they're in the playoffs every year. And the games that I go crazy over are the playoff games. But the regular season ones, I'm like, meh.
We're not
whatever.
talking about the football game. We're not. This isn't about them losing a football game. It's one game. I get that point, but the mental aspect of that loss can come back to haunt you in the playoffs. When you lose to the Giants the last game of the season, and then you face the Giants in the Super Bowl during that undefeated year, that's in their head. The fact that they lost to that team. It was their one loss, and then they played that team in the Super Bowl. That game is in their head still. So it's more of the win-loss. There's a mental aspect to it. If you lose to a team in the regular season, and you see this team again in the Super Bowl, the playoffs, that team knows they can beat you. They have that attitude that they know they can beat you. So, I mean, it's not just about the one game. You lost to a really good team who you very well could see in the Super Bowl.
All right, dickheads.
Like we talked about in the Bills. That game doesn't matter. That's a loss that doesn't mean shit. This game does. This game could have repercussions.
All right, so you're all a bunch of negative Nancys here. So I'm going to cheer less up because that's what I do. And here's the phrase, Belichick will fix it. What is Belichick's record against seeing a team for the second time in the same season? Really, 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 really good. Now, of course, there's examples where they've lost. But I think we can both agree that Giants game that you're talking about was the most fluky game that we've ever seen as football fans, would you say? Especially the way the game ended. The way the game ended.
Yeah, they still beat us.
Yeah, they still beat us, right? But there's some really fucking fluky things that happen.
Absolutely.
And Belichick's record when facing a team for the second time is really, really good. So I believe in him. If anybody can fix it, he can.
We all believe in him. We know he's a great coach, and it's far from over. But the fact still remains that we lost to a team that we're going to probably see possibly in the Super Bowl if we make it that far.
But I think Dan is right. You're going to lose some games. You can't go undefeated. You're going to lose some games, and I think it's a good time to lose this game. You can't beat every team, and we've got plenty of time to learn for it, plenty of time to improve. But the one thing that really needs to be improved, John, is who's a bigger Belichick defender than me?
Oh, you. As
Nobody.
far as you're concerned, he does no wrong.
He does no wrong. For the first time ever, I've got a heavy criticism of Bill Belichick. And it was that fucking hat that he was wearing. Like, what I can't defend it. Like, you saw the hat. It was like, it's like he took a big hat and cut a smaller hat out of a big hat and then put it on his head.
It looked like he wanted to wear a winter hat with a visor, and he couldn't find one, so he tried to do some sort of surgery on it.
So I feel like he's listening to people out there, and they say, you dress like a homeless guy. He's like, oh, you think you've seen homeless. Like, normally with his dress, I feel like he is just, I don't give a fuck what I look like. I'm just going to wear what I wear. But why not just grab a hat off the rack and put it on your fucking head? It's like he took a hat. He's like, I'm intentionally, like, as the professor, one of our biggest fans.
He Chris Sailed the hat is what he did.
He says like he's intentionally trolling us, right? He's like, I'm going to put extra effort into looking homeless.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
But this kind of looks like he
For all we know, he was carrying his hand on the way out to the field and he got stuck on something and ripped. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Like his head got caught in a fan or something, and they're just like cut it off.
I don't think he cares.
Like in The Simpsons, Police Chief Wiggum's tie gets caught in like the hot dog machine, and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna get worse before it gets better." But I mean, I don't know. I couldn't defend that hat, and I'm upset. But you know what? I needed to say that. But Johnny, what do you feel about the Chandler Jones trade right about now?
So
Yeesh.
we obviously are having issues rushing the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, we are.
Russell Wilson just stood back there in a recliner the whole game.
Which affects our secondary, obviously. You know, the better pass rush you have, the better your secondary is going to do. It goes hand in hand. I don't know. I mean, could we keep him? Would you rather see us hold on to Chandler Jones and then just let him leave? Would you prefer that?
Oh, boy. So, once again, I'm not going to criticize the move because he knows something. I guess something. He's way smarter than I am, and he's right, 85% of the time? So, I'm not going to criticize it now, but right now, we could What are you looking at?
What, was that just a number?
Yeah, I made that shit up. Of course I did.
Belichick is right 85% of the time.
Put it down. But, boy, it looks like we could really use Chandler Jones right now.
Look at our pass rushes. So, what do we got? We have Sheard.
Garbage.
Long.
Not very good.
Not playing good.
Nope.
The guy who I really like, who I've said is going to have a good year this year. This is the year he's going to break out. Trey Flowers. Some games he's completely there, and some games he's non-existent.
Some games you're right, non-existent.
It's just I don't know what they're doing, and that seems to be how their whole defensive line is. You come out, you have a really good game, you look good, and then the other game you're completely gone. Nikovic isn't doing great, but he was out for a while, so he can. That's a wait and see.
Yeah, got the zone defense. So when you're rushing, 2 or 3 guys sometimes, the zone defense, he's just running back and forth around there. Russell Wilson is just running back and forth and hitting guys who are uncovered by 10 yards.
Yeah, he's just waiting for them to fall right into their spot, and that's where he throws it to them.
That zone defense got murdered in the game.
It should have been worse. We're lucky we got away with 2 field goals in the first 2 possessions.
Yeah, Russell Wilson looked healthy.
He looked really good.
Gronk doesn't, because that was one of the best, cleanest hits that I've ever seen in today's NFL.
Yeah.
You remember in 1991, 92, late night on ESPN, they'd have hardest hits of 1991. They'd play them. We'd love that shit.
Yeah, some guy coming across the middle gets his head taken off. That would be so illegal now.
So illegal. And I'm sure the NFL is taking a backhoe and making a huge hole and dumping all those tapes into a huge hole so no one could ever see them again due to the massive concussion litigation that's going on. But he just hit him shoulder directly in the chest. It was like if you were to go to the NFL Hall of Fame and see what a perfect hit looks
Chancellor.
like.
I mean, that's what he is.
He looked like fucking RoboCop with that visor that he had on.
I could watch him hit people all get I would love to see just a highlight reel of his.
Except in this instance, because looking at him, he had this glassy-eyed look. Gronk had a glassy-eyed look after the hit. So he looks concussed, but his head didn't get hit anywhere.
Your head doesn't have to get hit.
I guess not.
It's just whiplash. Your whole body can get hit. Your brain bounces off your skull. That's how it happens. I mean, you don't have to get hit in the head.
But I thought the wind just got knocked out of him. But it turns out there are reports of a possible punctured lung on that hit.
Yeah, so now it's punctured. Then the next day it's not punctured.
Yeah.
And it's perforated.
So there's at least a chance that he got hit so hard that he broke his lung.
Yeah.
There's at least a chance. That's a hell of a hit. So now at least we know why he was looking all fucked up on the field there. But he still came in for the end of the game. They went for him at the last play of the game. And frankly, John, probably the right call, right?
The right call?
Last play? Yeah.
To throw it to him?
No, the non-call.
The non-call, yeah. I think it was absolutely 100% right. Gronk was going straight out. It looked like Gronk, they both put their hands on each other. I mean, you can't make that call unless it's a drastic pass interference.
Right.
You can't make that call the last play of the game.
Not like we haven't seen that call been made, though, a million times. Mm-hmm. But as guys, we're horrible homers. We're such huge homers. But we still like to see the right call made, and that was probably the right call.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. I think what I didn't like about it was it looked like Brady had that ready to go no matter what.
Yeah, that's where he was going.
That's what it was. And that's one thing I didn't like. I mean, when you don't see Brady do that, that's not Brady. Yeah. Brady is great at quicker than anybody after he calls to dissect the defense and knows what's going on quicker than any quarterback.
I think he saw, when Gronk does well, what do the talking heads say? Can't be covered. Can't cover him with a linebacker. Can't cover him with a cornerback. Can't cover him with a safety.
He wasn't having that dominant of a game. It wasn't like a crazy Gronk game. It wasn't a game like that where he was just on fire. So I mean, that can't be the reasoning for it.
The call doesn't bother me. You got your best player, throw it to your best player. He's in single coverage, he'll make a play. And he didn't. These things happen. These things happen.
Like I said, it was the way that he was doing it no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like.
Well, anyways, we're not blaming the refs. That's for losers. Don't do that. They outplayed us. They were the better team.
Yeah.
Right? They
They
came
were.
into our house and they outplayed us.
They outplayed us.
But I like how Brady was able to go all the way down the field. But a lot of people said we made the same mistake Seattle did. Was it first and goal on the 3 or the 2, and we didn't run the ball.
Yeah, that
didn't
was
run the
it.
ball. We got this big bowling ball of a guy. Run him in there 3 times.
Yeah. I don't understand why we didn't do it. It was like watching the Super Bowl. It was
Same
the exact
thing. Exact same thing. But Johnny, want to talk about?
But Belichick's getting no blame for that.
Yeah.
Is that part of the 15%?
Wrong play call. Well, McDaniel's calls the plays, right?
I think it's a team effort, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't think McDaniel's is going out there calling every single offensive play. I think it's a group effort.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be like I know better and he should have run a different call, but man, it sure seemed like they should have tried to run the ball,
Yeah,
right?
I would think so. Did you see when the I forget who it was when he jumped over the top? It wasn't Blunt. Who was it?
Blunt has gone over the top a lot of times this season, but
no, this against the Seahawks during this game. It was one of the last plays. It was, and he went over the top, and I'm standing there looking at it, and it looked like he was going in, and immediately he got pulled back down. I don't know.
Yeah,
that could have been it.
So Johnny, we got some holes on defense. Draft. Who do we draft to fix these holes?
What I would like to see us draft is, even though the offensive line looks really good this year, they're playing good, I'd still like to see us draft an offensive line, defensive line, and I would love to see a cornerback.
So we're going to have a lot of draft picks.
I'd love to see a cornerback. If we're in a position to get a good cornerback, like a really good cornerback, like to use a first-round pick on it, I'd love to see that.
So I'm a huge Florida Gators fan. You know that, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
The Gators got 2 possible first-round defensive backs, as they do seemingly every year. Every year they turn out a good linebacker, defensive lineman, or a cornerback, and it seems like they've got some new ones.
That hasn't been one of Belichick's things, though. Like he drafts. I think he drafts really well with the lines. I think he really drafts great offensive linemen. He hasn't done really good in skill positions. He hasn't done well in the secondary. I don't know. I think Belichick is. This may be one of the things you can say Belichick's amazing at everything.
Yeah.
But drafting,
cornerbacks,
I think he's middle of the road when it comes to drafting. I think he's an average drafter. I mean, it's tough to do a draft. Sometimes you hit a home run, sometimes you don't. That's just how it is. But I think Belichick's middle of the road.
I definitely think he's a well above average drafter. He just doesn't do a great job with receivers.
He's
great
receivers.
Great at free agent pickups.
Great at free agent pickups.
Yeah.
Great. He can't draft a wide receiver, but look at the wide receivers that we've had. He finds the right guys to bring in.
Yeah. Well, all right. That's enough for Patriots today. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk a little bit of fantasy. You ready to talk fantasy, John?
I'm always ready to talk fantasy.
Let's get on it.
When we come back, it's all the fantasy news that's fair to air. Stand by. Week 11 of NFL Moving the Line continues.
You already know Kowloon Restaurant, established in 1950 and spanning 4 generations, serves a multi-Asian menu. Did you also know that Kowloon Restaurant is New England's premier Asian dining and entertainment complex, serving Cantonese, Szechuan, Thai, and Polynesian cuisine? And did you know that Kowloon Restaurant is also the home of the finest Japanese sushi? If you haven't dined at Kowloon Restaurant lately, then you simply haven't dined at Kowloon. Kowloon Restaurant, Route 1 North in Saugus.
Welcome, everybody. This is brilliant. Can you feel it? One of the most incredible moments.
Boston. Share the experience of the WWE Live Holiday Tour so you can hashtag Best Night of My Life with non-stop action and the moments that will leave you breathless. Plus all your favorite superstars, no filter. It's the WWE Live Holiday Tour on Thursday, December 29th. Tickets and VIP packages are available Friday, November 4th at 10 a.m.
Football fans, welcome back to Week 11 of NFL Moving the Line. Here are your hosts, Lou Saban and John Morgan.
Lou Saban, John Morgan, back coming at you. How you doing, John? Feel better?
Doing all right.
You got mad about Cam Newton there. Really upset.
Listen, full disclosure.
All right.
Last night, I made a bet on Carolina.
Oh, no.
So I did a tease.
Yeah.
Carolina in the under, and an A&R. Carolina in the under.
Yeah.
Tease won, and I won half of the A&R, which is, you could say was good. But that's why I'm upset. They should have won by more than 3 points.
Okay, you were having problems at home.
They should have won by more than 3 points. So full disclosure, there might be a little extra hatred in my heart today for him.
All right.
And for Rivera for stop playing fucking offense.
All right, Johnny. We got a question from a reader here. It's my buddy Dave Daniel, and he wants to know, when will the Browns get their first win? Hashtag why do I suffer?
Is this Chef Daniels?
No, different guy.
Oh.
Different guy.
All right, I was so intrigued by the name, I forgot about the question.
Yeah, when do the Browns get their first win, John?
I don't know.
So here's their schedule.
Can we talk about the Browns quarterbacks? They've had 21 different quarterbacks.
Oh my God.
Since Ben Roethlisberger has been on the Steelers.
Wow.
21.
So let's take a look at the schedule. Steelers loss. Giants, I don't know. They probably lose to the Giants, right?
Yeah.
In Buffalo, they lose there.
Well, all right. Let's not even bother going down this road because what do we know? They haven't won yet.
Yeah.
So everybody you name right now is technically a better team than the Browns.
But I'm going to give you one that I think that they could win.
Okay.
They are at home against the Chargers. The Chargers have shown the ability to completely shit the bed.
Yeah.
And the Browns could possibly beat the Chargers in Week 16.
Yeah.
What do you think?
All right. I think that's a decent pick.
Maybe?
Yeah. I think
All
that's a decent
right.
pick.
So are you going to pick?
I mean, the Chargers are two different teams, home and road.
Who knows?
I mean,
yeah. So are you going to pick for their first win this year or 2017? Do they get a win this year?
Oh, you really going to make me pick?
Yeah.
Between this year and next year?
You're the football expert, John.
You say I'm a football expert.
Yeah.
All right, let's be clear. I don't. I'm going to go with this year.
This year?
Yeah. I'm going to go with a win this year.
Steelers, Giants, Bengals, Bills, Chargers, Steelers.
I'm going to go with a win this year.
Which one? What do you think?
I'm not going to pick a game. I can't do that. I think it could be a fluky game. And I'm going to go.
Once again, John Morgan taking the coward's way out. Unbelievable.
Hey.
But all right. So there we go. Browns.
I'm going to go with the one win.
But he says they do get a win this year, so great.
Yeah. So because we all care so much about it.
So fantasy. Here's one thing that I think has been a pretty consistent theme on the podcast. Here's how little I've been paying attention to our fantasy football league, which is my own fault. I should be paying more attention, but I've been making mistakes because I haven't been paying more attention. Here's the problem. I have the most points in the league, John. How the fuck did this happen?
You sent me that text message last night, so I think I had the most points before last week.
Okay.
And now you do. So I don't know how that happened.
So I'm going to bring
130 something. How many points did you get this week?
A million.
Yeah,
a million points.
I don't know where that team came from.
But
it was all by your running back and your quarterback.
Yeah, and my kicker apparently.
Yeah.
But I have by far the most points in the league this week, and I've got the most points in the league for the season too. But I'm going to take a quick segment here. I'm going to bring it front and center.
Let's see this here. Hold on. 955 points.
Yeah, which is 5 points more than the next guy.
Yep.
So, but we're going to bring a segment on right now because I've got to have it right now. We're gonna fuck right off. You ready to tell someone to fuck right off, John?
I'll tell you to fuck off at any time. Yeah.
So basically, this is a segment in our show where every week there's somebody in your fantasy league who just fucking kills you, or you get killed by the guy in your team who scores -2 points, the guy who you're facing scores 100 million points against you, and you lose. But I need to tell someone to fuck off right now. And are you ready, John?
I'm ready.
Because I'm telling you to fuck off, John Morgan.
All right, what do we got?
I'm telling you to fuck off right now because all year, my team is so dominant. Oh my god, and all that I didn't even know I have the best fucking team. So
I still don't know you have the best team.
I do have the best team.
I don't know about that.
And here's why I'm telling John Morgan to fuck off.
Let's go to the standing board. Lou is 5-5.
Yeah,
you're 500, buddy.
Right.
That's not the best.
But I have scored the most points. That makes me the best team. I will not be convinced otherwise.
Delusional math again. Aaron Rodgers equals win.
I think it has. I think it has. I got the most points. But here's why I'm telling John Morgan to fuck off.
Did the Raiders have the most points? Who has the most points in the NFL this year?
I don't know.
Does that mean they're the best
Atlanta?
team? Does that mean they're the
Atlanta's
best team?
pretty good.
Are they the best team?
I'm the best team.
I
think we've settled that.
Oh, there we go.
Here's why I'm telling John Morgan to fuck off. You son of a bitch. I needed you to win this week. And if you won this week, I'd be right in the playoff race, and you lost.
How does that?
Because whoever you played, I needed him to lose.
Oh, okay.
And you I have the most dominant team all fucking year. I'm talking about how good your fucking team is, and I needed you to win, and you shit the bed like an asshole. Explain yourself.
I wanted to fuck you, so I sat my players. It's pretty much no.
You son of a bitch.
Like I said last week, I thought that week and this week I was going to have 2 rough weeks because my best players on buys. I had Andrew Luck and Hilton on a buy last week. I got Melvin Gordon on a buy this week. So I need to get through these 2 weeks.
I needed you to win.
Pretty simple.
So bad. And you lost by almost 30 points. It's like you're trying to disrespect me.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
Oh, God. Well,
that's what you get. That's what you get.
What? What did I do?
That's what you get.
All right, tell someone to fuck off.
I'm going to tell the bye week to fuck off because the bye's killing me. The buys are killing me. My team was on a roll, and everything was going good, and next thing you know, I get lucked out, Hilton out. I get no chance of winning. I fuck you, and
Yeah, you fuck
fuck
me.
you, fuck the bye.
A bye going on.
Yeah, well. All right, well, I got that off my chest. John Morgan, I just want to tell you I've never liked you. So we're going to move
The
to...
feeling's mutual, my friend.
We're going to change gears here. We got a question from the audience. We got a very esteemed member of the show who sits us and mostly frowns at us. I think, would you say that's correct?
He's looking a little bit like the Unabomber right now.
Yeah, he's got a hoodie on, but he's got a question for fantasy football here. He's got 2 wide receiver slots that he needs to fill, 4 choices, John. Let's see what we got here for him. He has Larry Fitzgerald, Jarvis Landry, Marvin Jones, and Willie Snead. Johnny,
Your boy Willie Snead.
pick 2. I fucking hate Willie Snead. He is such a dick. He scores points, but never, ever when I have him in.
So we'll X Willie Snead right now because they played last night.
No Willie Snead, okay.
So we can't
That's
do that.
Good point.
I like Marvin Jones playing against Jacksonville. I mean, I think I like that matchup. Let's be clear, though, while I'm giving this advice, that you asked me which quarterback you should put in last week, and I said Wentz, and I think you liked Flacco. I'm pretty sure you said you liked Flacco.
I wanted to go Flacco. Wentz didn't go so well.
Flacco was definitely the better choice.
Yeah, Wentz not good. Didn't do too well. I won anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So, in the interest of that poor advice last week, take it with a,
So here's the fantasy points that Marvin Jones. So he's got a lot of points.
Yep.
Last 6 weeks: 7, 9, 7, 9, 3, 0. That is not fucking cutting it. Basically, he got all his points where he caught for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns against Green Bay in Week 3, where he scored 32 points. It's pretty much where he got all of his points. So I don't really want to start Marvin Jones
Landry?
either.
You mean 2 of them, though, right?
Yes, I like Jarvis Landry. Oh, he's a little banged up. He's a little banged up, but he's consistent. He hasn't been great lately either.
They're also playing the Rams.
Rams are really good, but I like Jarvis Landry in L.A., although no one scores points in L.A.
The Rams are really good.
What's that?
You say the Rams are really good?
No, the Rams' defense is really good.
Defense is really
especially at home.
Yes.
But I like Jarvis Landry. He's a volume guy. Tannehill throws to him constantly, even though he's a little bit of a slot receiver. And what do you think of Larry Fitzgerald?
Is that the other option there?
Yeah.
And they're playing Minnesota. In Minnesota. Oh, that's a tough one.
I'm going to say I like
think
Larry.
Larry Fitzgerald.
I think Larry and Landry is what I would say. What do you think?
I think it's probably the right move, but just only because of the matchup, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Larry Fitzgerald and Marvin Jones.
You like Marvin Jones?
Only because of the matchup.
Okay, so
Obviously.
pick whichever one of us you think is less dumb. So whatever you think. I look real dumb. John looks real dumb.
I was really bad. Listen, I was really bad last week, so I don't know if you'd want to go with that.
All right, there's our advice. All right, so we're moving on to the Ryan Fitzpatrick Challenge. I just love this, as we spoke about earlier. Basically, it's a game where John and I don't like rooting for success. We just love having a million beers and rooting for quarterbacks to fail miserably on national television. Wouldn't you say that's right?
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. That's what we keep doing. Lou loves failure.
Oh, God.
Not
it's
his
so
own,
good.
but everybody else's.
So, John, who did you have this week?
I don't remember. Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick.
Which we said, we knew what was going to happen. I knew you were going to win this week. 'Cause
Yeah.
every week, back and forth.
Back and forth. So basically, I never pick him for the challenge because he's always good for 5 or 6 points on the ground, and that's pretty much exactly what he did, right, John?
Yeah.
He actually, 23 points or something this week?
Something like that.
And so anybody who listens to this podcast, which I think is about 4 people, they will notice that I selected Ryan Fitzpatrick, but and he didn't play, so I texted John before the game, and I switched my pick to Bryce Petty.
Yep.
And Bryce Petty was horrendous.
Yeah.
He performed just as advertised. I really enjoyed it because he was so fucking bad. So we're tied again. What is it, 6-6 or 5-5 or something?
5-5.
5-5.
11 weeks. This is the 11th one.
Okay. All right. So that does make sense. That's why I'm not the math guy. So this week, how could I not pick Jared Goff?
I don't know, man. It's a tough one. He's playing against Miami, and he looked so bad in the preseason. But 10 weeks have gone by. Hopefully, he's gotten better. I mean, we just don't know what to expect from him. We have no. I don't think there's any expectations right now for this guy.
Here's the thing: he looked garbage in the preseason, and the Rams have been horrified to start him in any game. And their alternative was Case Keenum.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time, though. I mean, it's like we talked about last week, and I think maybe the Jets listened to our podcast because they're like, what the hell are you doing?
All of them?
Oh, yeah.
They got together around a fireplace.
They
and
Bulls got everybody together. I was like,
Yeah,
hey,
there you
listen,
go.
They said we shouldn't start Fitzpatrick anymore. We got to go with Petty. So we got to see what we got on this guy.
We manipulated
So
them.
We did it.
So I don't know how I don't go with Goff. So I want Jared Goff to throw a million picks and just get murdered.
I am going to go with the exact opposite of that. I'm going to go with Tannehill.
Oh, Ryan Tannehill. Oh, so we're both picking the same
Yeah,
game.
I'm going to go with the same game.
What's the over-under in that game, John? What, 18 points?
If I had to guess, should I do a quick one? Quick guess. Let's see. I'm going to go with 40.
No, 40 in L.A.?
I'm going to go with 40 points. 38 to 40 points, right around there.
Oh my God, John! I'm gonna give you.
Now this. I'm guessing what the Vegas line is.
Oh, okay.
I'm not guessing how many total points are going to be scored in that game. That's what I think the Vegas line is.
So here's some at-home scores: 9-3. Well, they actually had a 30-19 game, so
Should we
that's
do
some
a quick
points.
look? See what it is?
17-10, 13-10, and 9-6. Oh, God, some horrible
So
games.
38 points.
It's 38?
No, I said 38 to 40 points. Maybe closer to 38, but let's take a look.
So you think it's 38 to 40
Kill
points.
some time here, Lou.
All right, I'm going to try to speak. Well, anyways, I think the Rams are terrified of Jared Goff. They said that they wouldn't play him until they were out of the playoff chase altogether, which is they're a disaster. So,
Well, especially that division when you got the Seahawks leading the division. You have the Cardinals trying to make a push in that division.
yeah.
All right, here we go. We have. It's taking me a long time to scroll down.
I'm running out of things to say, John.
39.5 points.
Wow, that's a pretty accurate guess right there.
Yeah, 39.5.
Over under for that. So obviously you like the under.
Yeah, I would have to like the under in that.
You have to like the under because we picked both the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, that's all the fantasy stuff we got for right now. We're going to go into gambling in the next segment. John, are you ready to help me stop my losing streak?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, gambling coming up next.
Up next on NFL Moving the Line, it's a man who said Black Friday isn't a day of shopping, it's a fetish, and he loved to give her the doorbuster. John Morgan moves the line next.
You already know Kowloon Restaurant, established in 1950 and spanning 4 generations, serves a multi-Asian menu. Did you also know that Kowloon Restaurant is New England's premier Asian dining and entertainment complex, serving Cantonese, Szechuan, Thai, and Polynesian cuisine? And did you know that Kowloon Restaurant is also the home of the finest Japanese sushi? If you haven't dined at Kowloon Restaurant lately, then you simply haven't dined at Kowloon. Kowloon Restaurant, Route 1 North in Saugus.
Football fans, welcome back to Week 11 of NFL Moving the Line. Here are your hosts, Lou Saban and John Morgan.
It's gambling time, dickheads. John, you ready to gamble?
Yeah, I think Dan's a retard. I think Dan has some sort of disability.
So if you're
everything, that's what I'm gonna chalk it up to. There's got to be some reason,
So John, you're a bookie.
The professor made a great point. Did he fall on his head? There's got to be something. He does have a crutch. So, but I think he needs something for the head too.
So John, you like to play the bookie on this show. Is Dan a retard? Yes. What's the line on that?
Listen. Over under, it's over.
Yeah. So, but John, that's like
the over on
you're
that
gonna put minus 900 on that or something?
Over on that one.
By the way, heard that Hillary Trump got all the way up to minus 750. There was a point where it was minus 750. Hillary's gonna win that.
Wow.
You believe that shit? So anyways, so minus 900 that Dan's a retard.
Let me be clear.
Would you bet that?
And let me be clear when I say this. I'm not gonna. He's a retard, and he's not.
So you're taking that bet off the board?
He's not mentally handicapped. So for all those people, I don't want to insult anybody with a mental handicap or anything like that. He's just a straight retard.
Okay.
So.
Well, the answer's that. Tough but fair. Tough but fair, folks. All right, so we're going to start with a couple questions. My friend Nate wants to fill a role on the podcast here. He's got a question. He lives in JP. Why are the Jaguars so good?
Why are the Jaguars so good?
So I don't know.
I don't even know how to answer that.
I don't know. So Nate is. Here's one thing I like about.
Does he
Nate.
have a smiley face?
No.
No.
Here's one thing I like about Nate is he doesn't know a fucking thing about football or sports in general. Yeah. But he doesn't try to pretend like he does. We have this conversation all the time, right, John?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse than the guy who knows shit about sports but tries to pretend.
We've worked with many of those people.
Yeah, but they try to pretend like they do. And it's just embarrassing for that person because you can just fuck with them endlessly.
Me and Lou like to play a game where he'll come in, and we used to work with this person, and be like, hey, don't you think about this? Isn't this right? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And then I would come in and say the exact opposite to him. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then I remember one time there was a gentleman who proclaimed to be a very big fan of the Denver Broncos. And then John was mad. He's like, name 2 Broncos. And he couldn't do it. The quarterback?
Yeah, okay. Yep, that's a position. Who plays it?
This was when Peyton Manning was the quarterback. He couldn't even name Peyton Manning on his supposed favorite football team.
He is a piece of work, that one.
So I think Nate is trying to position himself as guy who knows nothing about sports with useless questions. Yeah. And we love it. Thanks, Nate.
So he must be talking about Blake Bortles being a great fantasy quarterback.
There you go. Blake Bortles. That's your reason, Nate. Jaguars are great, and we love having you aboard. So now I got a question from Jarrett, and this is a great question. I love this. He's in Vegas right now, and he's never bet on sports before, John, or really even been to Vegas for that matter. What's a good bet to pop this guy's cherry? He's going to go and put $50 on the Pats to win the Super Bowl. What else do you think he should play? Bets that you like right now. And also, part 2, with just a quick betting 101 for the uninitiated for sports gambling. Do you have a book that you recommend? Do you have favorite types of bets that you like to play for the uninitiated? Parlays, team bets, futures, over-under, spread, player awards, prop bets. What do you think? For a guy who wants to get into this horrible, filthy world of sports gambling, what do you think?
I love prop bets when you go to Vegas. You can just throw money down. You go home. You don't forget about it. And so I always like prop bets. Those are fun.
So just throw like $50 on something random? Or
Yeah, well, no, something that you know about. Something you have some knowledge about, so it's not just completely pissing your money away and just throwing money away. Try and do something that you at least have some knowledge about. You don't want to just pick anything random.
Okay. But I think that's a great point. And if I were to answer this question, I would say that the best bet for an uninitiated sports gambler
is not to bet.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But Super Bowl prop bets are the most fun. And they come out with 100 million bajillion of them right before the Super Bowl. I imagine they're probably not on the board right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But for an uninitiated sports gambler, there is nothing, especially if your team's not in the Super Bowl, there's nothing more fun than picking a completely obscure. We do it every year.
There's so many different prop bets.
Totally obscure prop bet for Super Bowl and dig in on that.
But you're not going to get those until the game starts.
So right now, what do you think?
I've always loved doing over-unders. I've always loved picking over-unders. You can just... The good thing about it is especially if you pick the over, you can just sit down in front of the sports book and root for scoring, root for that, So it's something easy to bet on where you don't have any pull in either team, so you can always win depending on the game might not be over.
Yep. Another bet that I like for new people, over under like team totals, like win totals. Like you think a team is pretty good. So Jarrett watches a lot of football. He's educated on football. You got a team where you like them. Will they make the playoffs? Will they make over 9 wins, under 9 wins, something like that? I think that's a good
those
bet.
Are fun too. Yep.
Yeah, so you can go and 5 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now, hey, my bet came in, or I lost on that. So,
and then hopefully you win, and then you can either lie to your girlfriend or wife and say, I have to go back to Vegas and collect my money.
Yeah, that's great. So, anyways, that's what we got for Jarrett. Are you ready to move the line, John?
Let's do it. You gotta come back, Lou. You gotta come back.
Yeah. So I was hot. I was hot as a pistol there for a while, and I'm cold right now. I've lost 3 in a row, but the game we play here is John's a longtime gambler, loves his gambling, especially on sports. And one of his techniques is sometimes, before he sees the actual lines, he tries to think of what they would be on his own by himself first. That kind of helps you see where you are in the lines before you even see the lines, right?
Yeah, yep, that's how you do it. Lou described it exactly for the 11th straight week. And so hopefully, we have it down by now.
For the one new listener we have this week, John, I'm trying to fill him in, all right? So I picked the Bungles last week, and boy, they didn't come through. So I'm 0 for my last 3. And I'm ready to get back on my winning streak here, though. So what do you got for me?
So we got the Steelers. They're playing the Browns, your favorite team.
Okay,
in Cleveland.
No, they're your favorite team, John.
You talk about them a lot.
I do.
10 points.
Steelers
10 points.
10-point favorites. Apper, that seems
10 points on the road.
I got to say that line seems about right. If I had to think of what the line was, I might think it would be 9, though, if I had to guess what that line is. Steelers, they seem to play very shitty against good teams. But if there's one thing we know about the Steelers is they murder the Browns every year, every week. So kind of on the fence about that one. What else you got?
We got the Vikings and Cardinals in Minnesota. We're going to call this game a pick.
Okay. I still am holding out that the Cardinals are a decent team. They got a lot of talent, although Carson Palmer doesn't look like a good quarterback right now.
He doesn't.
He does not look like he can move the ball at all. And there are a lot of people out there who are saying that last year was the aberration for Carson Palmer, and he's just not really that good.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
Minnesota, as we discussed, in a complete free fall. So it's tough for me to put a bet on that. I kind of like the Cardinals there. I like the Cardinals.
Okay. Last one, the Bears and the Giants. It's in New York. We're going to do over-under at 46 points.
So John talks about this a lot. There's just that team where it doesn't matter where you bet on them, you lose. And you always have that team. For me this year, it's the Giants.
Yep.
And Eli Manning is killing me from beyond the grave right now. Every time I bet for or against the Giants, I lose. I can't. Oh, my God, it's horrible. So I'm going to put on my radiation suit and step away slowly from that Giants game because I just can't win.
It's probably a smart play.
Yeah, so for this game, I get to bet my own money. I get to take one of John's lines, bet my own money against it. I'm currently up $5, so I'm hanging on by a thread. I really like the Cardinals this week, so I'm going $10 on the Cardinals on the road in Minnesota, and I'm going to take my curse, how I've murdered the Minnesota Vikings, and use it for good.
Okay, so the real line in that game, the Vikings are actually favored by 2 points in that game.
Okay, well, all right, I like the Cardinals.
2 points, but, I mean, going by the streak that you've had, when you've gained points, you've won. When you've lost points, you've lost. That's how this game might change everything, though.
All right.
The other real lines, you're right in the nose, but Steelers 9 points in that game.
Yep.
And 43.5, the over and under for the Bears and the Giants.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go back. I'm getting off the schneid, and it's going to be great. But Johnny, what picks you got?
We got the Colts. They're playing the Titans. I'm going to take the Colts -3 in that game. They're coming off a bye, which did not help me at all against the Bengals.
Yeah.
It
didn't help the Patriots either, the bye.
No,
bye did not come through, which is another reason you told the bye to fuck off.
Yeah, another
week.
fucking thing the bye did. Yep.
John, are the Titans good?
No, I don't think they're good.
Really?
I really like Marcus Mariota. I liked him coming out of college. I really, really like him a lot. I hope he can be a good quarterback. He's the exact opposite of how I feel about Jameis Winston. I can't stand Jameis Winston. I think Mariota's the better quarterback, and I really hope that he can be good. But I don't think they're that good, no. Do you?
I think they've got a little bit of spark in them.
Okay, like around a 500 football team? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think they got a little bit of spark in them. John, you know what's the most shocking record? Do you know that the Texans are 6-3?
Yeah.
I had no idea that they were that good.
Aren't they leading their division?
Yeah, 6-3. Would you be shocked if the Titans passed the Texans and took that division?
Honestly, I think it'll be the Colts.
So the Colts are in third place right now at 4-5.
Yeah, I think in this win is obviously a big game for these teams.
Yeah.
But I like the Colts in it. I think the Colts are, I don't want to say the best team. I think all three of these teams have some issues. They have some good things, some bad things going for them. I think it's a bad division. I don't know. I got to go with the Colts. I like the Colts coming off of a bye week.
Texans are in first place, but they have scored the second least points.
The
third
least
least
the
points.
Raiders this week.
Yeah, that's a bad matchup.
In Mexico City.
In Mexico City, which I didn't even know about until like 3 days ago. Okay, what's your next pick?
I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams this week.
Okay.
The 3-point dogs at home playing the Dolphins.
Okay.
I'm going to take them. More or less, I'm hoping their defense comes through in that game because I think it'll be pretty low.
So you're hoping for like 6-6 overtime tie.
Yeah.
Which would you be shocked if that happened?
I think it'll be a really low. I think the game's going to be like 17-10.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Johnny, I forgot to ask, how'd you do last week?
7-5.
No, that's not bad. So over the last 2 weeks, you've been about 500, right?
Last 2 weeks, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is the yearly total is like 56%.
All right. We'll pick it up, though. We'll pick it up this week.
I'm going to take the Raiders -6 playing the Texans.
Okay, Raiders at home in Oakland, -6 playing the Texans.
I'm going to take the over on the Bears game, the Bears and the Giants game, over 43.5.
Okay.
And 2 teases. I'm going to take the Lions. They're playing the Jaguars, 6.5 points.
So you kind of like the Lions.
Yeah, I do like the Lions this week. I don't like the Lions as a football team, no.
Okay.
I like them this week. And I'm going to take them with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are playing the Ravens. So both games.
What's the Vegas line there?
7.
Cowboys play in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
Yeah.
No, is it in Baltimore? I think it's in Dallas.
It's only 7?
Yeah, I think
it's in Dallas. It's only 7 points?
I think it's in Dallas, yes.
I would figure that line to be a lot higher.
I'm pretty sure it's in Dallas. The Ravens defense played really good the past 2 weeks.
They did good. And they got some key guys back on their offensive line, too.
Yep. I mean, so I think it's in Dallas.
Okay.
So the 7 points kind of scares me, but I think they're good enough to win the game.
Oh, okay.
And one last one. We're going to do a 3-team tease.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Patriots playing the 49ers, so they'll be favored by 2.5 points.
Patriots playing the 49ers.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yep. They are 7.5 points. And I forgot to write down who they're playing. Shit.
So it doesn't matter because the Chiefs are going to win.
But, no, they're favored by 7.5 points there.
You got the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. That's what it is. It's in Kansas City, though.
The Bucks are just the kind of team that
I'm going to take the Packers with it.
Okay.
They're getting 13 points. They will be getting 13 points.
So we're dying on this Packers hill.
Yes.
Is what we're saying.
So we got to talk about one thing real quick since we bring up the Cowboys. Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
He's the starting quarterback right now. So
right.
Romo's ready to go.
Right.
And Romo, did you see what Romo said?
Oh, what is
he basically his concession speech?
Yeah, he's like crying and shit, wasn't he?
Yeah, he handled that great. Like he could have easily not thrown his support behind him and just went out there and been tension. And even if there's not tension in the clubhouse, the media will make more of an issue out of it than it really is. So he basically said, "Fuck you to the media. I'm not going to let you do this." I thought he handled it perfectly.
So it's getting dangerously close for me having to say that I was wrong on Dak Prescott because he looked really good in that game.
He looked really good. There's only one game that I thought he played bad in, and that was against the Eagles, and they still won that game.
Game.
I think he easily could have went the other way.
I still think he's going to regress at some point in the regular season.
Well, I mean, how do you not really regress? He's playing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect him
number
to be,
2 total QBR quarterback in the whole league.
I don't expect that to stay.
Yeah.
I don't see how that can stay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's going to turn into a complete disaster. So do you think Romo is eventually going to be the starting quarterback before the season's out?
God, I have all year. It's looking bleak right now, though.
The combination of Prescott and Elliott right now, you can't fuck with it. You can't change it.
It's tough, even though I thought that they absolutely would. But once again, I still see a regression coming, and I see Tony Romo as quarterback of the Cowboys at some point this season.
All right.
So there you go.
That's it.
I'm going to die on that hill. We're dying on the Packers hill. That's our podcast for today. We're going to win some money. I'm going to win some money. Go Cardinals, right?
Go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals. No. Also, fuck you, Cam Newton. This is Lou Saban. That's John Morgan. Say goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
We'll be back. That was riveting.
Yes.
We'll be back next week for more fantasy,
fuck
more
you, Cam
gambling.
Newton, and fuck the bye.
Okay, fuck you, bye. And fuck you, John Morgan. We're going to talk Patriots fantasy gambling next week. Come join us.
Football fans, prepare for a special Thanksgiving edition of NFL Moving the Line next week. Follow us on Twitter at NFL Moving Line. Search for us on iTunes and YouTube for your hosts, Lou Saban, John Morgan. We'll see you next time. Be well.